Have you ever wondered how an ancient art form can be perfected by modern science to capture the absolute essence of a plant? Well, welcome to our channel. Today, we're going on a deep dive into the incredible process of making bubble hash, a journey that takes us from a tiny, microscopic gland to one of the purest concentrates imaginable. Our guide on this adventure is none other than the late, legendary Hashitian Frenchy Cannoli. He had this beautiful belief that a plant's entire life story, its genetics, the soil it grew in, that one perfect moment of ripeness, it's all recorded in its resin. And the whole art, he said, is just learning how to preserve that story perfectly. So, where does a story like that even begin? Well, it starts with the hero of our tale, this tiny, mushroom-shaped gland called a trichome. You can think of it as a little biological factory that's working around the clock to produce the plant's most precious compounds. Now, you gotta know, not all trichomes are created equal. Nope. The absolute grand prize, what every hashmaker is searching for, is the capitate-stalked trichome. See, it has this big, resin-packed head sitting on a really fragile little stalk, which makes it just perfect for separation. And its size, right around 70 to 120 micrometers, is the real key to capturing it. This whole process really turns the hashmaker into something like a winemaker, because timing is everything. You have to harvest at the perfect moment. If you look here, the immature, clear ones, they just don't have that complexity yet. And the overmature amber ones, they've actually started to degrade. That sweet spot, that cloudy, mature stage, that's the target for what's called a true full melt. It's the plant at its absolute peak. The next big choice is your starting material, and this is where you get a really fascinating contrast. Using fresh frozen plant matter, that's kind of like making wine from a fresh grape. You capture all those bright, vibrant, live aromas. But if you use dried and cured material, it's more like using a raisin. You get these deeper, spicier, more complex, hashy flavors that develop over time. All right, so once the material is chosen, our little trichome has to go through a carefully controlled ordeal, ice-water extraction. But this isn't about brute force at all. It's about using physics to gently release that treasure. You see, the real secret here is the cold. As the temperature drops to right around freezing, that waxy outer layer of the trichome goes through something called a glass transition. It doesn't freeze solid, but it becomes incredibly brittle, just like glass, which gets it ready to snap cleanly right off its little stalk. And this brings us to a really common misconception, right? You might be thinking, okay, if the trichome is brittle now, do we just smash it with a bunch of ice cubes until it breaks off? But the master himself gives us the answer, and it's a definite no. The ice is just a tool to get the water incredibly cold. The real work, that's done by the water. So instead of some chaotic blender-like grind, the goal is to create a perfect vortex. This gentle, swirling column of water creates just enough force to cleanly snap those brittle trichome heads right off their stalks. Frenchy even taught people to listen for the subtle, light click of the ice, never a harsh, grinding sound, to know the force was just right. It's pure finesse. Okay, so now that all those little trichome heads are free and floating around in the icy water, a whole new challenge begins, sifting for that liquid gold and separating it from all the other plant debris. And this is all done using a series of special filter bags, each one with a different screen size measured in microns. The bigger screens, they catch all the plant waste. The really tiny screens catch immature resin. But right there in the middle, from about 73 to 120 microns, that is the Goldilocks zone. It's where those perfect, ripe, capitated-stalked trichome heads are finally captured. We're just about to get to the final transformation, where this raw material becomes the finished product. Before we do, if you're enjoying this, please like and subscribe. It really helps our channel out a lot. So the resin has been collected, but we are far from finished. Now comes the part that is true artistry, transforming this loose, sandy powder into a stable, timeless product. The first, and maybe the most critical step, is drying. Any water that gets trapped in there will lead to mold, and that would ruin the entire batch. The modern way to do it is with a freeze dryer, which keeps the resin's light color and shape. The more traditional method is air drying in a cold, dry room, which can result in a darker, more cured final product. And that brings us to Frenchy's signature technique, the hot bottle press. He would take that perfectly dried resin and just press it with a simple glass bottle filled with hot water. That combination of heat and pressure is what melts all the individual trichome heads, bursting their outer membranes and fusing them all together into a single glossy sheet of pure resin. Now, the temperature for this has to be just right, somewhere between 180 and 210 degrees Fahrenheit. That's just hot enough to burst those waxy cuticles and start that chemical transformation, but not so hot that it degrades any of the good stuff inside. The pressed resin is then carefully hand-rolled into a perfect sphere, the temple ball. And the shape? It's pure genius. It has the lowest possible surface area, which means way less exposure to oxygen. And as it ages, it actually forms this protective outer crust, basically creating its own perfect little preservation vessel. But here's where it gets really amazing. This process isn't just about preservation. This is where true alchemy happens. That combination of heat, pressure, and time, it doesn't just save what's already there, it actually creates something entirely new. Get this. Scientists recently discovered a totally unique compound called hashishine. It only forms when a common terpene transforms under the light and oxygen exposure during that pressing and aging process. Just think about that for a second. This compound literally does not exist in a living plant. It is created by this ancient process, and it's become the unique chemical signature of traditional well-made hashish. So how do you grade the final product? Well, it's a pretty simple star system. 1 or 2 stars are great for cooking. 3 to 4 stars, or half melt, will bubble up nicely, but it'll leave some residue behind. But the absolute pinnacle, 5 and 6 star full melt, is so incredibly pure, it just vaporizes completely, leaving almost nothing behind at all. Which really just leaves us with a final thought to ponder. What does it truly mean to capture a single moment in a plant's life? And then, their science and artistry transform it into something that can be appreciated for years and years to come. Hit that like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. This content does not constitute medical advice, legal advice, or recommendations for the use, self-treatment, or consumption of any substance.